I will be redoing my 2028 Democratic primary prediction video. Last video I wasn't happy with it, I rushed it, and today I have some more free time and want to go more in depth on each state. Now the candidates I have running are Josh Shapiro, Governor of Pennsylvania, AOC representative for a representative for New York, Gavin Newsom, Governor of California, Wes Moore, Governor of Maryland, Gretchen Whitmer, Governor of Michigan, Pete Buttigieg, former Secretary of Transportation, and most likely by this time will be a senator for Michigan. Cory Booker, I believe, is a senator. He's either a senator or he's a senator for New Jersey. J.P. Pittsburgh, I think is how you say his name, is an Illinois governor. Dean Phillips, former representative for Minnesota. Ralph Warnock, senator for Georgia. Andy Beshear, senator of Kentucky. Governor of Kentucky. Sorry about that. Jon Ossoff, also a senator for Georgia. And Jared, I don't know how to say his last name, is governor of Colorado. So, now this is everybody that I think will get some percentage of the vote. Now, let's go ahead and start. So I will be using the 2024 Democratic primary calendar to decide how I go with each state. So let's go ahead and start off with New Hampshire. Now, New Hampshire in 2020 voted by Sanders and Warren both by a good margin, with Buttigieg coming in second. So with AOC and Cory Booker, in this position, I see AOC as the Bernie in this election and Cory Booker as the Elizabeth Warner in this election. So I think AOC will get somewhere around 21% the vote. I don't think she will be as popular as Bernie, but it will be the candidate that Bernie most likely endorses, and then Cory gets around 8%. I do think Pete Buttigieg will be able to recall all of his voters that voted for him in the 2020 primaries, and he can probably get around 17% of the vote. After that, I think Josh Shapiro will be the best establishment candidate in this. So far I have AOC first, Pete Buttigieg second, Josh Shapiro third. I will have Wes Moore coming in fifth, or tied for fifth, with around 8% of the vote. Then we have Gretchen Whitmer and Gavin Newsom both pulling a small margin of the vote, with Dean Phillips getting a small percentage, JP getting a percentage, Jon Ossoff and Ralph Warnock getting a percentage of the vote. So the only people not being able to get a delegate would be Andy Beshear, Jared, Jon Ossoff. After New Hampshire, this is where I think we will have a candidate drop out. I think Jared will drop out, and I don't think he will actually endorse anybody. The only person I could see him endorsing is just going with the safe option and endorsing Josh Shapiro in hopes that he could possibly become a cabinet member if he becomes president in 2028. Now, next state we have California. South Carolina. So we have every candidate still in besides Jared. In South Carolina, usually votes pretty establishment Democrat. We see in 2020, Biden won the state by around 48.6%, with Sanders coming in second with around 20%. So in South Carolina, in 2024, Biden won it by around 96%, with Dean Phillips only getting a small percentage. So that is why I will have Josh Shapiro coming in first with around 23%. Gretchen Whitmer coming in third with around 18%. Gavin Newsom coming in third with around 16%. Then I will have AOC coming in fifth, around 10%. Then JP with around 9%. After that, Pete Buttigieg about time with JP And then the remaining toss up will go to small margin goes to Cory Booker, Dean Phillips, Westmore taking around 7%, Warnock taking a small percentage, and I believe that's all. After South Carolina, I believe John Ossoff will drop out the race and endorse Ralph Warnock. I also think Andy Beshear will drop out and endorse Josh Shapiro. So we have Jared and Andy endorsing Josh Shapiro and Oswald endorsing Warnock. Our third state now is Nevada. Now, Nevada in 2020 was very pro Bernie. As we see, Bernie won it with over 20%, getting 24th of the delegates here. And in 2024, it still voted, besides Biden, by around 8%, which was very good. So I will be having AOC win this state with around a 33% margin. Cory Booker coming in second with around 11% margin. After that, I will have actually I'm gonna have Pete Buttigieg come in second with 16%. Then Cory Booker with around 8%. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if Buttigieg gets up to like 25% in this state. After that, this is going to be the first state where Josh Shapiro isn't the first place establishment Democrat. That I will be having Gretchen Whitmer be the first place establishment Democrat with around 13% the vote. After that, I will have Josh Shapiro with around 11% the vote, then Gavin Newsom with around 8% the vote. I'm going to give a little percentage to Westmore. Now, Westmore is very charismatic, and I think Westmore will hold on just for a little bit longer, but this is where he starts thinking about dropping out. Now, I believe by this time, Cory Booker decides to stay in, and J.B. Pritzker decides to drop out. I believe by this time he will drop out and endorse. Actually, I'm not too sure who he will endorse, but he'll probably drop out and endorse Josh Shapiro. And I believe by this time, Dean Phillips will also drop out and endorse. I'm gonna say he endorses Westmore. So we have Cory Booker drop out, endorse. No, not Cory Booker. JP drop out, endorse Shapiro. Dean drop out and endorse Moore. Andy Beshear drop out, endorse Shapiro. John endorse Ralph, and Jared endorse Josh. Now, I believe Ralph Warnock will drop out and will endorse. Who will? I could see him endorsing a lot of people, but I think most likely he'll want to get it on good terms with a front runner of the race, and I think he will drop out and endorse Josh Shapiro. Either him or Gretchen Whitmer, but in this timeline, I'm going to say he endorses Josh Shapiro. So after Nevada, we go to Michigan, which Gretchen Whitmer will easily win the state by around, could see it by around 35%. After that, I'm going to have, of course, Josh Shapiro coming second with around 23%. Buttigieg coming, actually I'm going to have Gavin Newsom coming third with around 17% of the vote. After that, Pete Buttigieg will come in fourth with around 13% of the vote, and AOC taking the rest of the small percentage of the pie. And then after Michigan, I believe Cory Booker will drop out and endorse AOC for right before Super Tuesday. So the candidates we have remaining are Josh Shapiro, AOC, Gavin Newsom, Westmore, Gretchen Whitmer, Pete Buttigieg. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candidates left before Super Tuesday comes. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get through all the Super Tuesday states. So, first, we'll have Alabama, which is also a very pro establishment Democrat state. Biden winning it by around 63%, and also Biden won it by around 89%, with uncommitted getting 6% of the vote. So, I will have Josh Shapiro win this state by around 42%. This was probably his best state, with Gavin Newsom coming in second for the first time with around 20% the vote. Then Gretchen Whitmer coming in third with 15. Pete Buttigieg coming in fourth with 13% the vote, and then AOC taking the rest of the small percentage. Next we got so we're gonna have Arkansas and California. So Arkansas, same story here. I believe Josh Shapiro will win the state by around 38%, with Gavin Newsom coming in second again with around 19%. Gretchen Whitmer coming in third with 16%. Pete Buttigieg coming in fourth with around 12%. And AOC also taking around 12% in Arkansas. After Arkansas, we'll go to California, where I think by this time the whole LA wildfires thing will have died out, and I believe we could possibly see Kamala Harris, who I believe will be the governor of California at this time and will not be running for president, could endorse Gavin Newsom. But I think Kamala Harris will probably hold off her endorsement for now. So, but I will have Gavin Newsom win the state with around 30. We can change that way. With 32% the vote. Josh Shapiro coming in second with around 30. Then how much does it leave left? 37. Pete Buttigieg coming in second with around 18. Actually, no. Because California is very anti-establishment. So I believe we will actually see AOC win the state with around 30% the vote. Gavin Newsom coming in second with around 18% the vote. Cory Booker coming in third with he dropped out. Pete Buttigieg coming in third with around 15% the vote. Actually, Josh Shapiro will come in. Yeah, this looks about right. So we have AOC winning Nevada and California. Oh, wait. I forgot about Wes Moore. Oh, I should give him some. He'll take a small piece of the pie. Wes Moore's still in. About 12%, yeah. Same here. Just... There we go. Yep. Wes Moore is a very charismatic person. So I think he would do good on the debate stage, but I don't know if he would do good whenever it comes to voter turnout. We have the Samoa caucuses. Samoa. Yeah. With Samoa, I believe was the only place in 2024 for Biden not to win it. So I believe Samoa will vote for AOC by around 60. Corey second. Buttigieg third. Josh Shapiro not getting anything. After that, we have Colorado, Iowa, and Maine. So in Colorado, I believe I think this will be another state that AOC is able to win with around 29%. And Wes Moore coming in second with around 22%. Pete Buttigieg coming in third with around 18% in Colorado. Josh Shapiro coming in fourth with 16%. And then Gretchen Whitmer taking 9%. and Gavin Newsom only taking 2%. Then we go to Iowa, which I think will be the first state Pete Buttigieg won. He did win in 2020. And I think he'll be able to call back those voters and win it with around 35%. With AOC coming in second by around 22%. Then Gretchen Whitmer coming in third with around 17%. Josh Shapiro coming in fourth with around 15%. And then the remaining percentage going to Gavin Newsom. We now go to Maine, which will probably have, which I will probably have AOC winning Maine with around a 41%. Pete Buttigieg coming in second with, no, Wes Moore coming in second with around 20%. Pete Buttigieg doing slightly better than Wes Moore. Then we have Gretchen Whitmer coming in fourth with Josh Shapiro getting a small margin at the vote, not doing too well here. And same thing with Gavin Newsom getting a small margin at the vote. With this, so far, AOC is leading, then Shapiro, then Newsom, then Whitmer, then Moore. Wait. So, Josh Shapiro's in first place. No. AOC's in first place. Josh Shapiro's in second place. Buttigieg in third place. Newsom in third place. Buttigieg in fourth place. Whitmer in fifth place. Moore in sixth place. I believe by around this time, about after Super Tuesday, we'll see Wes Moore and Whitmer drop out and endorse their candidates, but I don't think they will drop out during Super Tuesday. We go to Massachusetts, which I believe will probably end up voting for AOC with around a 50% margin, with the other 49% going to Whitmer, or 22% going to Whitmer, then Buttigieg third, then Josh Shapiro, and then Gavin Newsom gets a small margin of the vote. We got Massachusetts, Minnesota, and North Carolina. So, in Minnesota, I believe Tim Walz will probably endorse Gretchen Whitmer. So, I think Gretchen Whitmer will end up winning this state by around 38%. Then AOC coming in second with 26%. Josh Shapiro coming in third with around 14%. Buttigieg coming in fourth. And then Newsom taking the remaining percentage of the vote. Second state for Whitmer to win, which this catapults Whitmer back into the race. We then go to North Carolina, which is very establishment Democrat again. I don't think AOC will do too good here. She'll probably take around 31% of the vote. But Josh Shapiro coming in first with around 34% of the vote. Buttigieg coming in third with 14% of the vote. Whitmer coming in fourth with around 11% of the vote. Wes Moore taking, I think Wes Moore will take a small margin. And then Gavin Newsom taking also a small margin. Then after North Carolina, we go to Oklahoma, which will be voting for Josh Shapiro by around 38%. Wes Moore coming in second with around 19%. Actually, Buttigieg coming in second with around 22%. Then we go Whitmer, then AOC, and then Newsom basically getting no delegates in Oklahoma. After this, we got Tennessee, Texas, and Utah. I'll go ahead and do Utah because I believe AOC will win the state by around 43%. With Wes Moore coming in second around 23%. Actually, Wes Moore, yeah. Buttigieg coming in third. Then Whitmer. Then Josh. Yeah, something like this. And we also have Texas next, which is a very establishment Democrat, which is pretty establishment Democrat. Joe Biden won it by around 34%. And then the backlash to Joe Biden in Texas during the 2024 primaries was not very much at all. So AOC will probably win the state by around, or won't win it, but will get around 28% the margin. We still have Josh Shapiro coming in first with around 38%. Then Pete Buttigieg getting around 20%. Whitmer getting 13%. Westmore getting around, taking small chunks out of everybody's percentage at the vote. And Gavin Newsom getting also a very small margin at the vote again. Texas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, which also very establishment Democrat, which I will have Josh Shapiro winning it by around 39%. Whitmer coming in second with around 20%. Same thing with AOC getting around 22%. Westmore getting a nice margin. And then Gavin Newsom taking very small margins. I believe around this time in the race, if this was like televised, I believe Gavin Newsom will drop out at this time of the race and endorse Josh Shapiro for the presidency or for the Democratic nominee. I also believe Westmore will drop out by this time and endorse Josh Shapiro for the presidency too. But the votes are still being counted, so there still are a few more states. I did Utah. Okay, we got Vermont and Georgia. We got Vermont and Virginia. Vermont, of course, voting for AOC by around 43%, with Pete Buttigieg coming in second by around 12%, Westmore taking a small margin. Josh Shapiro coming in with 18%, and Whitmer taking a very small margin. And same thing with Newsom. Then we go to Virginia, which could go a lot, but I think we will see Josh Shapiro come in first by around 40%, or maybe around 32%. LEC coming second with around 30%. Pete Buttigieg coming in third with around 16%. Whitmore coming in fourth with around 14%. And then we have Gavin Newsom taking 7% of the vote. After this, Super Tuesday is wrapped up. So we have Gavin Newsom endorse Josh Shapiro, and Westmore drop out and endorse Josh Shapiro. So we now have Josh Shapiro, AOC, Gretchen Whitmer, and Pete Buttigieg left in the race. Let me move them up. With this, after Super Tuesday, AOC is the front runner for the nominee so far. But now that Newsom and Moore have dropped out and endorsed Josh Shapiro, at the DNC, they will now be instructing their delegates to vote for Josh Shapiro. So really, Josh Shapiro's in the lead right now. AOC doesn't have any endorsements besides Cory Booker's 8 delegates. We could, the only person that could see possibly endorse AOC is Pete Buttigieg, but I think he's more likely to endorse Josh Shapiro. After this, we go to Hawaii, which is establishment Democrat mostly, as we see Biden won here by around 60%. So I believe this 30% will be split up between Josh Shapiro and Gretchen Whitmer, both taking around 22%. Then Pete Buttigieg coming in third with 18%, and AOC taking about the same margin as Whitmer. After the Hawaii caucuses, I believe Gretchen Whitmer will drop out and endorse Josh Shapiro for the presidency or the Democratic nominee. After Hawaii, Gretchen Whitmer dropped out and endorsed Josh Shapiro, and now I believe Pete Buttigieg will wait one more caucus to see how he does, then decide if he's going to drop out or not. The next caucus after Hawaii Huh. A broad caucus. It's the Georgia, Missouri, North, and Washington primaries. Now, we go to Georgia, which I don't know if Pete Buttigieg will do too well in. We see Georgia in 2020 was very establishment Democrat, and with the Bernie vote, I believe mostly going AOC, but possibly being split up by Pete Buttigieg. I think Josh Shapiro will win the state by around 65%. Pete Buttigieg coming in second with around 19%. The remaining 14% going to AOC. We also have the Missouri and Washington. So Washington, where is? Wait, is that Washington? Washington. Okay, I thought that was talking about Washington D.C. No, Washington D.C. could go well for AOC, possibly pulling off an upset. I think there will be backlash towards the establishment, so we could see AOC win this place by around 36%. Josh Shapiro still coming in second by around 29%, and then Pete Buttigieg taking the remaining, coming in second. So we have AOC, Buttigieg, then Shapiro. After Washington, we have the northern. What's this? Oh, islands. Okay. Is that? Yes. Yes. Huh. So AOC will probably win this place by around 83%. Josh Shapiro coming in second with around 16% the vote. Mississippi primaries obviously going towards Josh Shapiro by around 42%. Wow, I did not think it would be that much. No, I'm going to give it to him by around 65%. Pete Buttigieg coming in second with 28%. And then AOC coming in third with around 14%. We see Pete Buttigieg starts to gain traction, getting second place right behind Shapiro in a lot of these places. But I believe after March 12th, Pete Buttigieg will see best case scenario, he gets second place right behind Shapiro. I believe Pete Buttigieg will end his campaign, drop out, and endorse Josh Shapiro for the presidency. So now, even though AOC is leading just based off which delegates are going to vote for who, Josh um, Josh Shapiro still has the support of all of these big delegate holders that are now instructing their delegates to vote for Josh Shapiro. So Josh Shapiro actually has a very large commanding lead. I do think AOC will stay in the race though, holding out just like Bernie did in 2020 and 2016. We have the Arizona primaries, which actually we could see AOC do well with the Hispanic vote. Would not be surprised if AOC wins Arizona by around 51%, with Josh Shapiro getting 50%. Oh, yeah, 48% AOC winning it by around 51%. You know, now I don't think it really. Yeah, okay. We then go to the Illinois primaries, which J.P. Perks did endorse Josh Shapiro, which definitely does help him a lot. And Illinois does like their establishment Democrat candidates. So I have Josh Shapiro winning the state by around 61%, AOC taking it by around 38%. We go to the Kansas primaries, which I believe is around the same. Yeah. Josh Shapiro will probably win this state by around 72%, with AOC coming in second. Josh Shapiro has the support of money. We have all of the campaign, all the corporations that funded Newsom's and Whitmer's and Buttigieg's campaign are now funding Josh Shapiro's campaign. I think AOC's message at this time will be anti-establishment. Don't let the establishment run the Democratic primary or run the Democratic primary into the ground. So I'm gonna have Josh Shapiro win Ohio by around 68%, then AOC with the remaining percentage. Now, I believe after about March 19th, we could see AOC possibly slow down on the campaign trail because we look at the 2020 map. There aren't many other places that went for Bernie besides North Dakota. That was even by a small margin. And there's not really too many more places where she could make up ground. Maybe she could pull off an upset win in Wisconsin, maybe in Florida, maybe in New Mexico, possibly, connecting with Hispanic vote. So AOC by this point is considering dropping out and is endorsing Josh Shapiro to hopefully have the party feel united before the DNC and have the party united behind one candidate for more than a couple months after, more than a couple days after the DNC, but having the party united behind Josh Shapiro for months before the DNC. But I do think AOC is also running low on money at this point. But I think she's gonna keep going until she at least gets to New York. So we go to North Dakota, which I have AOC winning it by around 69, 61%, with Josh Shapiro taking the remaining 38%. We have Connecticut and the New York primaries. Now, Connecticut, I think AOC can win Connecticut. Nope, no. She does have the closeness near her. So, where's AOC? Where'd she go? Okay, so I'll have her get around 48% to vote with Josh Shapiro with the remaining percentage. Then we go to New York. This is where AOC could do something. I could see AOC possibly winning this state. But I think it will be very close. I think it will be in the margin of like voter fraud error. But I think AOC barely loses this state by a half a percentage point. We also have Rhode Island and Wisconsin next, which maybe AOC can do something, but I don't think she'll do much in Rhode Island. And then we have Wisconsin, which I believe whenever after these states vote, so after April 12th, I believe that's when AOC officially decides to stop campaigning or suspend her campaign. She will still stay on the ballot on a lot of states, but I think Josh Shapiro at this point has too much support behind him, too much money behind him, too many delegates behind him for AOC to make it up. And by this point, she suspended her campaign, but has not yet endorsed Josh Shapiro, and she probably won't endorse Josh Shapiro until at least the DNC. I still will fill out the rest of these states though. So, of course, Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, this is going to be a blowout with around maybe 90% of people, 89% Democrats voting for Josh, and then 11% to AOC. New Jersey, same deal here. 68% AOC, taking a small margin. We go to Maryland, same story. 74 AOC gets a small margin. Florida, around 20%. Josh Shapiro still winning. Because also AOC suspended her campaign. There's no more campaign money flowing into these states. Sorry, I had to take a sip of water. Josh Shapiro winning Louisiana by around 83%. Missouri going to Josh Shapiro again, around 73%. West Virginia going to Josh Shapiro by around 85%. Kentucky, actually, don't know if he would. I think AOC could probably win West Virginia. Could see maybe West Virginia being upset, but Josh Shapiro making gains in Indiana. And also the turnout for AOC, because if you're a supporter of AOC, why do you even show up? AOC's given up. So why do you even turn out to vote for AOC at this point, too? So I'll fill out some of the remaining important states, and at this point, Kamala officially endorses Josh Shapiro for the presidency. And at this point, the elections are happening, and it's just cleanup by this time. Even the super delegates can't really help anybody. I believe Josh Shapiro takes the super delegates by around 70%, and AOC getting the rest by around like 29%, possibly. I'm just gonna put in fill mode just so y'all can see. But I believe Josh Shapiro basically takes the rest of the states easily, with AOC maybe being able to take New Mexico. And yeah, this is my 2028 Democratic primary prediction. Thank you all for watching, and peace out.